um, the scriptures are in all in poetry form. They are written as songs in praise of God, and they have all ethical teachings about how to live life ethically, not exploiting others. So main three principles of Sikh faith is in belief in one God, and one God which is manifested everywhere. The entire creation is God's manifestation. And so you should always thank and remember. And the second one is to live honestly, don't exploit other people, don't exploit the society, and don't be a parasite. Live by honest means. And the third one is to give back, is to serve others, those who are in need. So these are the main three principles of Sikh faith. So each of these hymns will reflect these principles. And the other aspect is to treat everyone equally. So men and women are equal in the eyes of God, and that's how the Sikh faith recognizes. And there is no one religion which is superior than the other. All religions should be respected. And there is one God of all people. So regardless of how people know or remember God in each of the faiths, but they are all different names of one God. And so this is a very unique, very interfaith in nature. The whole scriptures is 1430 pages, and about close to more than half is written by one guru, whose hymn I just recited, and then the other is written by some of the Sikh gurus, the founders. But a lot of hymns are also included who were written by people who belong to, or they were from Hindu background and they were from Muslim background. So this was again the vision of the founder of the Sikh faith, Guru Nanak, who, when he was writing his own hymns, he was collecting them, but he started also including the hymns written by various these saints in the Indian subcontinent. If you look at India's map, you will find these different people all over India, and some from the Pakistan side also. And some belong to a very lower caste, some belong to untouchables. They were not given much respect in the society, but some of their saints wrote wonderful hymns. They were all included here. And there were some Muslim Sufi saints who had written wonderful. They talk about how to be a good Muslim, but the ultimate end point is that we all need to be one with God. So their hymns are included here. And so it's again giving a very universal outlook that God belongs to everyone. God is not more favorite, or no one community is favorite of God. Every community, every person is God's creation. And the second aspect of this holy volume is that it is all in music. It's all set in music, and this is all in different rags. So there is for example, a rag which would be sung in the morning. So the hymn is created to create that sense of that mood, how you will feel in the morning, and how you will feel in the afternoon, and how you will feel in the evening, and then how you will feel at night. So different rags which are suitable for the different times have been used to express these hymns. So there is much musical diversity. So you can enjoy singing these hymns if you learn some of the Indian musical system, how to sing these hymns. And they're all in poetry. And the third is that this entire volume does not refer any historical aspects of the founders of the faith. Where were they born, which country they visited, or who did they talk to, or who did they give anything, or there's no biographical notes about the founders of the faith. It's all about God. So so anyone can come and read it and find something that they can relate to. So this is situated in the Golden Temple, which is the center of the Sikh faith in Punjab, in Amritsar. And 24 hours a day, there is a singing of these praises. There is no lecture, there is no sermon given there, because it's called the Temple of God. And it has 4 doors, which means that anyone from any faith or any community, any nationality can come and feel oneness with God. So that's the symbolism, this canopy and this whisk and these ornaments, everything is to symbolize that the King of Kings is God, and God is the most superior being in the entire creation, in the whole world. So God's praise and God's words, God's inspired words, should be given the utmost sort of priority in our lives. So that's why it's placed in a sense to give a symbolism of a royal presence of God. So this canopy is again, King is here, and this is all God's. It's very much like a Torah, how Jews recognize the word of the Torah. So given the very highest honor, and this is all symbolism of that. And so I'll stop here. Any questions?
Brother, thank you. Forgive my religious ignorance. But,
sure.
So why do you cover your head?
That's a very good question. Yes, in the Western culture, when you have someone respectful coming, or when a woman coming, people used to take off their hat. It was to give respect. When judge comes in the court, they ask you to remove your hat. So in our culture, or in the Indian culture, is you cover your head when you have an elderly person coming, or someone respectful person coming, or Lee would know that we cover our head when somebody respectful is here. So in Sikh faith, we believe that God is everywhere. So we keep our head covered. And it also became part of the Sikh identity, because Sikhs faced a lot of opposition and persecution because of the equality and speaking against the tyrannical rule of the rulers at that time. So there was a lot of persecution. So identity became a very important part of our expression, to show who we are and who do we belong to. So that's why we cover it. So it's kind of my article of faith, and it gives me a sense of royalty. So everyone is equal, and we all have one last name, Singh, for males, and Kaur for females, which means princess. So every woman is given one last name, every man is given another last name.
So you talked about how all of this is song. So I'm looking at that and I see words, but I don't see any written music. So how do you know the songs? Are they written anywhere, or are they just passed down through history?
That's a very good question. So for example, it says Jat Sri Mahalla Panjwa. Jat Sri is one rag upon in which this hymn is written. So if I were to sing really in the sense, with the intention of really connecting myself deeply with the way this hymn was written, I need to know the rag Jat Sri. And there is a difference between Indian musical system and the Western musical system. In Indian musical system, you just know the rag, and then it's like a jazz. You go all different ways to express. So there are no set.
So it could be different.
Yeah, I could sing Jat Sri in a different sense. Somebody can sing, but we will all be singing the same rag.
Words,
yeah,
but different tunes.
Different tunes.
Can I sing too then?
Yes, if you can learn the rag, you can sing it. So, but in the Western music, you have to go very, there's sopranos, there are tenors or something, and then it's all written up. So you have to follow that very. So, but in this musical system, it's all very the sort of the freedom is given, but you have to stay within the rag, the shape of the whole melody. Yes. So one should be familiar. There are total of 62 different musical melodies in which this whole volume is set up.
Do these have to be sung in the original language, or have they been translated and performed that way?
That's a very good question. There are now people who have joined the Sikh faith in the Western culture or in South America. They have translated and they sing in English, but they not necessarily follow the musical system. They do with a guitar, and they go a little more freedom. But there are people who are very strict. No, it has to be sung according to what Guru willed it. But then there are people who say, it's important to get the message rather than focused on that this is how it should be done or this is how it should be done.
But do you have a central authority?
We do have what we call is Panch Pyare. There are 5 sort of the seats of authority, but there is no sort of a dogmatic system. The freedom is given. Let's say if some local matter comes, any 5 people can gather together and resolve an issue. You don't have to call we don't have a pope as such, but there is a person who speaks for our faith, and he consults with 4 other people and then gives out his pronouncements. So it's a very egalitarian, a very democratic setup.
So is that one person located, or is it 1 out of the 5? Or
Well,
is it someone who is located in a specific city or place?
well, the highest 5 are in India, but local 5 can be chosen from any background. They can all come together and take the decision.
Are your services lay-led, or are you considered a learned teacher? Tell me about
That's a good question. In Sikhism, we don't have a priestly class. There is no one person who is, like a go-in-between. Anyone can lead a prayer. Any woman or man can lead a prayer and lead the service. But there are people who spend more learning about the language, about the musical system and everything, so they become the interpreters, or they do the sermons. But anybody can become that. You just have to go through a training. I'm sorry?
And I feel like she was coming.
Yes. So I got another indication too. But thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.